So here's the setup. You walk into a room and there's a supercomputer and two boxes on the table. One box is open and it's got $1,000 in it.
Yeah.
There's no trick, you know it's $1,000.
Come on now.
The other box is a mystery box. You can't see inside. You also know that this
Can't see shit.
supercomputer is very good at predicting people. It has
Predictions.
correctly predicted the choices of thousands of people in the exact problem you're about to face.
He guesses everybody correctly. Everybody that he's ever guessed has gotten correctly. Okay, just keep that in mind.
Correctly predicted the choices of thousands of people in the exact problem you're about to face.
Thousands
Now,
of people.
You don't know what that problem is yet, but you do know that it has been correct almost every time.
Almost.
Now, the supercomputer says you can either take both boxes, that is the mystery box and the $1,000, or you can just take the mystery box. So what's in that mystery box? Well, the supercomputer tells you that before you walked into the room, it made a prediction about your choice. If the supercomputer predicted
Before you even walked in a room, he made a choice for you. Okay? Now, whether he's right or wrong, he's been right thousands of times already. So, like, just take,
into the room, it made a prediction
Y'all following
about
so
your
far?
choice. If the So what's in that mystery box? Well, the supercomputer tells you that before you walked into the room, it made a prediction about your choice. If the supercomputer predicted you would just take the mystery box and you'd leave the $1,000 on the table, well, then it put $1 million into the mystery box. But if the supercomputer predicted that you would take both boxes, then it put nothing in the mystery box. The supercomputer made its prediction before you knew about the problem, and it has already set up the boxes. It's not trying to trick you, it's not trying to deprive you of any money. Its only goal is to make the correct prediction. So what do? Do you take both boxes, or do you just take the mystery box?
Here we
Don't
go.
worry about how the supercomputer is making its prediction. Instead of a computer, you could think of it as a
Which
super
one you
intelligent
picking?
alien, a cunning demon, or even
Both the boxes or just the mystery box?
computer, you could think of it as a super intelligent alien, a cunning demon, or even a team of the world's best psychologists. It
Really?
really doesn't matter who or what is making the prediction. All you need to know is that they are
That's-
extremely
okay.
accurate and that they made their prediction before you walked into the room. Pause the video now if you want to think about it.
All right. So y'all picking both. I'd try and pick one. Wouldn't you always take both boxes if that was an option? It is an option. Look, here's what we know, right? The supercomputer is extremely accurate. The boxes were set up before you walked into the room. You can just take the mystery box or take $1,000 and the mystery box. Before you walked into the room, the supercomputer made a prediction about your choice. Okay? Prediction one, just the mystery box. If you just took the mystery box, 9 times out of 10, it's $1 million in that bitch. If you took both the boxes, the mystery box has nothing in it. And y'all taking both of them? Just take both. Fuck that computer. Just take both of them, huh? I love gambling more than a cheap win and love hard work than a gamble. So what are you taking? You can't unplug that computer. You would take the mystery box, huh, Ryan? I would too. I'm taking just the mystery box. I would be satisfied with the 1,000, not gonna lie. Wow, it's free money. I'm not about to complain. Come on. Both? Okay. So you'll take both. It's 9 times out of 10 regardless of the computer, right? Yeah. 9 times out of 10 regardless of the computer. The fact that it's a computer doesn't matter. Like, it could be anything. Yeah, again, the computer predicted everything. Facts. And he's been extremely accurate. Before you made your decision, this computer's been accurate more than not. This feels a little bloated as a hypothetical. A little bloated. What that mean? Then what's the value of knowing ahead of time? What you mean? There's too much to it. Hey, useless details. So what's your choice though? The only thing that matters is your choice. You taking both of them, or you just taking the mystery box? I got questions for that computer then. You got questions for the computer. What you gonna ask the computer? Both boxes. The mystery box could still have nothing. That's true. Yeah, knowing ahead of time is worthless. People can choose to trust the computer or not. Yeah, facts. I'll let the video play. Let's see what they let's see what reasons they have for what they picked.
Got your answer?
So I should just take 2 boxes, like obviously.
I'm gonna say I'm just gonna take the $1 million and go with it.
Of course you take 2 boxes.
I would pick both boxes, I think.
I would not get the 2 boxes.
I think I'm taking both boxes.
Let's go.
Wow.
Okay.
This is seeming less paradoxical than I thought, because
Most people
I
are
should
taking
just
both
go in
boxes.
and take the mystery box only.
No.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Let me take the mystery box only. I'm good.
Because I should just go in and take the mystery box only.
No.
If I'm getting what I get, why does it matter if I know what they are? I was confused about people taking both. Same.
Oh, what?
There are 2 camps. 1 boxers who would take only the mystery box, and 2 boxers who take both.
But as American philosopher Robert Nozick wrote, to almost everyone, it is perfectly clear and obvious what should be done.
Really?
The difficulty is that these people seem to divide almost evenly on the problem, with large numbers thinking that the opposite half is just being silly. This is known as Newcomb's paradox, named for its inventor, William Newcomb. The Guardian newspaper polled over 31,000 people about this problem in 2016. 53.5% were 1 boxers and 46.5% were 2 boxers.
Wow.
Now, if you find it hard to see why anyone would pick the opposite side, well, here are the arguments.
I guess the point of this is why you picked one or the other. Not really the, choices in it themselves, but it's just why you picked that over the other thing. Yeah.
If you find it hard to see why anyone would pick the opposite side, well, here are the arguments for
You got a voice memo? Should you post it in the Discord? Sure. As long as you didn't say nothing crazy, and I believe you didn't. Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and believe that you didn't say anything crazy, by the way. Why not take both? This isn't quantum physics. Hey, I guess we're gonna find out.
hard to see why anyone would pick the opposite side. Well, here are the arguments for each camp.
Look, I'm a reasonable guy, and I like money, so I'm gonna do whatever gets me the most money. So let's go weigh the outcomes of both of these decisions. First, I'm gonna say that the probability that the computer predicted my decision correctly is gonna be C. So the computer got it right. And because of that, the probability it got it wrong is gonna be 1 minus C. So let's look at what happens if I try the 2 box. There is a C chance of me getting 1.
Scoops?
This is Scoopers.
Yo, what's
I
good?
just want to say, love y'all and Crojo forever.
Hey, W Scoops, man. Crojo forever, boy. Hey, W Scoops, boy. Yeah, come on now. W Scoops, bruh.
$1,000
Crojo forever. W
and
Scoops
a 1
in the
minus C
chat.
chance of me getting $1,001,000. If I add these two together, I get a weighted sum, which is
we're
going to
doing
tell
math.
me how much I can expect to get if I try the 2 box. This is also known as expected utility, or the EU of 2 boxing. And I can just simplify this expression a tiny bit.
Please.
So let's look at what happens if I try to 1 box now. There's a C chance of me getting $1 million, and there's a 1 minus C chance of me getting nothing. So we can cancel this out, simplify this to just $1 million times C. If I equate these two expressions, I'm gonna get the C at which these two expected utilities are equal. And it turns out that the C at which this happens is 0.5005 or 50.05%, which means if the computer is better at predicting than what is basically random, then the expected utility of one boxing is gonna be higher. Now I know that the computer is much better at predicting than that because it accurately predicted thousands of people before me.
Right.
Which means I'm sticking with my one box. Here's my $1 million. Take that, Casper. Thank you very much.
Okay,
So I should go in and take the mystery box.
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking. Take the damn mystery box and get on with it. You know what I mean?
And leave the other. Because I'm assuming that its prediction is pretty good. It's a supercomputer.
Okay, so you're saying it's not paradoxical because the choice is obvious. I'm very surprised.
Why?
Because to me, the answer is also obvious. And to me, the answer is you take both boxes. So here's how I think about the problem in a way that actually makes sense. You know that the supercomputer has already set up the boxes. So whatever I decide to do now, it doesn't change whether there's $0 or $1 million in that mystery box.
Facts.
And that gives us 4 possible options that I've written down here. If there is $0 in the mystery box, then I could 1 box and get $0, or I could 2 box and get $1,000. But there could also be $1 million in the mystery box. And in that case, I would get $1 million if I 1 box, or I would get $1 million and $1,000 if I 2 box. So I'm always better off by picking both boxes. This is known.
Okay. I'll give you that. That's fair. This is a great point. Yeah, take both in case one is nothing. Right. Whose box am I getting? That's a crazy question.
As strategic dominance, where I always pick the dominant strategy.
Yeah.
Which in this case,
why not leave with guaranteed money? Right.
Is to 2 box. So give me those boxes.
The 2-boxer argument makes a lot of sense to me. Once you explain it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see why exactly you're right. But I can also see that just having those thoughts in your brain are what might allow the computer to give you nothing. I think I'm grateful that I just don't have those thoughts.
It's so funny because I was totally expecting you to go 2 box.
No way, man.
It seems like there are
cause what? I need him to say that one more time.
In your brain are what to me. Once you explain it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see why exactly you're right. But I can also see that just having those thoughts in your brain are what might allow the computer to give you nothing.
Yikes. The thoughts the thoughts in his brain is what allows the computer to just give him nothing. Okay. Yeah. Right. But you can also say the same on the other end, huh? Allow the computer to give you nothing? Yeah, like, that's kind of crazy to say, right? Yeah. It's just a prediction. It is. Yeah, it is just a prediction. So when he said, I'm like, he said, huh? Like, hey, that's what he said, though. He just capping.
Just having those thoughts in your brain are what might allow the computer to give you nothing. I think I'm grateful that I just don't have those thoughts.
It's so funny because I was totally expecting you to go 2 box.
No way, man.
It seems like
I wonder what Crojo would pick. What's good, Wobbs?
there are 2 perfectly reasonable approaches that give 2 completely different answers. And that's because your choice actually reveals something fundamental about how you make decisions. It comes down to these 2 statements. First, as far as you know, basically everyone who has taken 1 box has walked away a millionaire, and everyone who has taken 2 has walked away poor. Second, the supercomputer made its prediction before you even knew about the problem. The boxes are already set up, so your decision now can't change if the million is in there or not. Both of these statements are true, but there's a hidden assumption in each that divides people.
Okay.
We pick both, and the computer picks both.
You just get the $1,000.
I think I would just pick the mystery box.
Just the mystery box, probably.
Yeah.
I might be taking the mystery box.
Just the mystery box?
Yeah, might be.
Okay, why?
I don't know. I guess the supercomputer is right, no?
Here's the hidden assumption for us one boxers. My expected utility calculations are based on probabilities that are using prior evidence of how accurate the supercomputer is.
Yeah, prior
because
evidence.
The thousands of people that it accurately predicted before me is evidence enough for me that when I go for one box, there's gonna be $1 million waiting in there for me.
Yeah, like
This is based on.
I don't really need the extra 1,000. You know, I don't need to try to take 2 boxes and, you know, I'd rather just go ahead and get that million. You know what I mean? That's how I'm thinking about it.
There's gonna be $1 million waiting in there for me. This is based on something called evidential decision theory. And using this decision theory, you get these expected utilities.
I'm not doing that
and
math though.
My choice is obvious from there. And it turns out a lot of you actually thought the same way. We polled our audience, got more than 24,000 responses, and it turns out 2/3 of you are one boxers.
I know, it's crazy. I don't trust it.
So the majority is a one boxer. I mean, that just means I was destined to get nothing. Y'all trying to fool Destiny for more cash is crazy. Fool Destiny? What do you mean fool Destiny? Just like you believe if you're destined to get nothing, that's destiny. If I'm destined to get $1 million, that's destiny. What you talking about? It go the same way. Hobbs, would you give some to Chad if you had $1 million? if I just randomly got $1 million, came up off $1 million off of what? It just fell into my lap? Oh yeah, I'd give back somehow. Oh yeah. Yeah. It just fell in my lap. Like, yeah, you know. 65% are one boxers though. Hold on now. Investing it into stream counts? Oh dear God, no. Cause what do you mean by that? You trying to bot my shit? I need to hear the question again. Oh, no, like production value. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Into equipment. Yeah. Put all the money back into some equipment. Yeah. Facts. You need the question again. That's low-key in the beginning of the video, not gonna lie. But they're low-key explaining, like, I feel like if you just tap in from here, you could probably pick up what's going on. But yeah, also Ryan put it in there. There's 2 boxes. One has $1,000 in it. One has $1 million. Sometimes. It sometimes has $1 million. Because there's a supercomputer that predicts correctly. What? If the computer predicted correctly and you picked mystery box, you would get $1 million. Facts. But also, there's a chance for you to get $1 million and $1,000. And most people, or not even most people, look like most people getting just the mystery box.
My choice is obvious from there. And it turns out a lot of you actually thought the same way. We polled our audience, got more than 24,000 responses, and it turns out 2/3 of you are one boxers.
I know, it's crazy. I don't trust this.
It's looking to be like you're less and less rational with these results, Casper.
So your argument is kind of that if you one box, it will have predicted that you were going to one box and you'll walk out with the money. That is pretty convincing.
Casper, I'm starting to really doubt this 2-box side of things.
How could you not be a 2-boxer?
Gregor has this really funny way of thinking about things, but I make my decision based off something else. Something a little more rational, because I believe that whatever I do now can't influence and
Oh, now I'm back to one boxer. Okay, now let's stay there, eh? One box on top. Yeah. One box on top, nigga. What you talking about? If I only get 1,000, I'd go back in that room and roadhouse kick that robot. The robot has nothing to do with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. The robot has nothing to do with it. Yeah, at all. At all.
Little more rational, because I believe that whatever I do now can't influence and change the past. I only take into account things that I can actually influence. And clearly, whatever I do now, whatever I think now, is not going to change whether that $1 million is going to be in the middle.
Yeah. Wait, let's see what he said one more time.
I only take into account things that I can actually influence.
Okay.
And clearly, whatever I do now, whatever I think now, is not going to change whether that $1 million is going to be in the mystery box or not, because it was already set up before I learned about the problem.
Facts.
This is known as causal decision theory, where you only take into account things that you can actually cause. And so with this, your expected utility calculation changes. And that's because you need to use a different probability. One where you could actually cause that $1 million to be in the mystery box.
Yeah, you trying to it sound like if you a two boxer, you the one trying to fool Destiny. That's what it sound like to him. That way he explaining it. Yeah. Yeah.
One where you could actually cause that $1 million to
we
be
double
in the
dip?
mystery
No.
box or not. So right before the supercomputer made its prediction, there was some probability that it thought I was going to one box. I know, it's weird, but bear with me. So let's say that probability is P. Then that's the probability that I'm going to use in my expected utility calculation. And the expected utility to one box is just going to be 0 plus $1 million times P.
Okay, he doing math too.
Pretty good. But the expected utility for two boxing is going to be $1,000 plus $1 million times P. But that's just the same as the expected utility for one boxing plus an extra $1,000.
An extra 1,000.
So no matter what the computer predicted, my expected utility is always higher by picking both boxes. So of course you're gonna two box. Anyone in their right mind would pick both boxes.
It's made the prediction before you're in there. Whether I have faith in this thing be a 90%, a 100%, it actually doesn't really matter. I think you guys are imposing your will on
Yes, it does. He's cooking, bro. Like, yeah, you guys think that your decision, whatever you think now is gonna change the past. That's called wishful thinking.
Yeah, like come on. I'm two boxes. It only makes sense. I'm back with Casper.
Exactly. Welcome to Camp Two Boxers.
I'm not losing $1 million. It was never in the room, man.
You're gonna walk into a room and there's either money in the room or there isn't money in the room. Your question is, do you pick it up?
Of course.
We're trying to do you a favor here.
You're not doing me a favor because your decision making does not affect. Your little thought does not change God's mind, bro.
Henry, if you convince yourself that you're a one boxer, you've convinced the machine.
I don't believe that.
What do you mean you don't?
I don't believe you convincing yourself should impact what the machine thinks of you. Because often you're just walking into a room and it's already made the prediction. You can't impact it, you know?
So whatever you think is more important, whether that's the evidence of the supercomputer's accuracy or the fact that the boxes are already set up, well, that affects how you calculate the expected utility. And because both of those assumptions are true, both camps have valid answers.
Okay.
But if there's no right answer, then is this just a meaningless problem? Well, not really.
No.
Because it actually reveals a surprising amount about three important questions. Does free will exist? What does it mean to be rational? And is there an ideal way to act in life?
Okay.
For example, the only way you're going to win this game is to already be the kind of person to one box, but then two box at the last second anyways. That's the only way you're gonna get $1 million and $1,000.
Okay.
But some would argue that that itself is impossible.
Shout out to everybody that's followed up throughout the night.
Let's say it's 100% accurate. Then that's not even possible. Would you say that's true?
Yeah.
Then a follow-up question is, if such a perfect predictor would exist, does that mean that free will doesn't exist? Because you're saying there's nothing you can do in between walking into that room and making your decision.
Wait, what?
That ends up changing what was predetermined.
That's right. And maybe this reveals where I'm coming from. And I think where I'm coming from is maybe free will doesn't exist. I come down on this point of like, free will is an illusion, but our world operates in a way that is indistinguishable from free will being real. And therefore,
I wouldn't go that far and to say free will is a myth. I wouldn't say that. Yeah. You don't have will if it's predetermined. I don't know.
In a way that is indistinguishable
it's definitely a paradox,
free will
huh?
being real. and therefore you have to act as though it's real, as though it's 100% real.
Interesting.
If we think that free will is not real and it's an illusion, and then you have someone who's committing crimes, and then you want to say, well, that's not his fault. Therefore, instead of putting, murderers in jail for 25 years, we're just gonna give them some gardening classes or something. Like, the problem is that then changes the environment where everyone knows you can kill someone and you can go to do the gardening. So you can't change the system based on the knowledge that it's an illusion. Whether we do or don't have free will, you have to live as though it exists.
So you've still got to make a choice. 1 box or 2 boxes?
Which brings us to our second question.
What?
What does it mean to be...
I don't think I believe that. Yeah, W murderer gardeners. No, see, throw them boys in jail. For life. Lock them away. Like, you still made that choice to kill somebody. Now, if it's a car accident, that's different. That's different. But you actually going out there and kill somebody because you just wanted to? Yeah, I don't know about that part. You wasn't really supposed to do that.